for joining me for another day, another morning of the 5 minute motivational moments. I do apologize for the time. I'm on here a little bit later than I usually am, but life has done what life does. So, actually, what I had already typed out for this, I think I'm going to switch it up just a little bit. So, being intentional is today's topic. Being intentional, meaning you're doing things on purpose, you're doing things with an intent or with a purpose in mind, being intentional. So, my intent was to get this live done the way I normally do in the mornings by 7:45. I am on with you guys intentionally with purpose. But I knew that I would be late this morning because I got a request for breakfast. And that doesn't happen very often, so I try to make sure that when I do get that request for breakfast, that I make it. But I knew that that would push me behind by taking the time out to make my husband breakfast. And I could have very well just said, you know what, I won't do a live today. I won't even bother with one today. They'll get one tomorrow. They've got one from yesterday. They've got several from last week. I don't have to do one today. But that is incorrect. I do have to do one today because when I decided to start going live every morning, there was an intent, there was a purpose to it. And for me to say, nope, I'm not going to do one today because I got a request to make breakfast for my husband, I can't just say that. I can't just let it go. I can't just let go of the purpose that this thing has. Not just for me, but for those who happen to catch it when they catch it. So what I intentionally wrote out was talking about, even with making creating the topics or coming up with the topics for my lives, I have to be intentional about what those topics are. Those topics have to have a purpose. They have to be something that people can relate to. So I have to sit down and I have to write out the topics and then analyze the topics. And then when I select them and I finalize them, then I have to do the research for the topics. And then whatever research is necessary, I have to do the research for the topics. And then I have to write up whatever notes need to be written up for each day, the topic of the day, and then I sit down and I get the cameras together. Like I've got two cameras going now. I get the cameras together, I get the microphone to record, and I get everything else set up in the background so that when I'm done with this, I have to finish the process. All of that stuff is done with intention. All of that is done on purpose. It isn't just a willy-nilly kind of thing. I didn't just decide to sit down one day and say, let me just do lives. No, it was all done with a purpose. Even with my YouTube channels and my other social media channels, but especially my YouTube channels, all of that was done with a purpose. When I sat down and plotted out what I would do for my daily YouTube channel, I said, okay, I just want to talk about life, the things that have happened to me in life, or the things that are happening to me in the moment in my life. Share those experiences with others, letting them know that they're not alone in whatever it is that they're going through. So I call it my car chronicles because I record all of those in my vehicle during my commute to work. But then with my professional channel, the intent behind that was for my coaching business and making sure that people had content that they can go to when they could not reach me firsthand, personally, face to face, or on the phone. So there was an intent and a purpose to that. And some people say that when they started their YouTube channels or their social media channels, they just did it to pick up the camera and do nothing. And in some cases, I won't say to do nothing, but there was no real intent behind it for them, just to pick up the camera and record. And in some cases, that is true. But in most cases, when people say that, they're not being 100% truthful about it. They're not being 100% honest about it, either with themselves or with us. There was an intent behind doing that. So live your life with purpose. Live your life with intent. Make certain that whatever it is that you are doing, there is a reason for you to do it. There is a purpose for you doing that thing. Even the maker of the GoPro, he initially if what I've heard is indeed true, when he came up with the GoPro, he didn't come up with the initial intent to create the GoPro. He was trying to figure out his life, what his next moves would be in life. So he took some time off from school, from work, from just being regimented and, doing the things that we normally do. We wake up, we get ready for work, we go to work, we do our work, we come home from work, we cook, we eat, we go to bed, we start all over the next day. He wanted to get away from that for a little bit. So he took a year off and to find his purpose. And in that year, he figured out, hey, I can make this camera that records everything I do and take it with me. And I can do it hands-free if I want. And that's how he came up with the GoPro. So his intent was to find his purpose while he took that year off. And in that year, he did indeed find his purpose to create this camera that would be hands-free for people to record their adventures. Your life should be that same way. Your life should have some intent, some purpose, not just living willy-nilly. If I live, I live. If I don't, I don't. No, because you were born with a purpose, you should live your life on purpose. You should live your life intentionally. You should live your life as if your life has meaning. So I'm going to give you a quick scripture, and it's one that I shared with you last week. It's 1 Corinthians, I believe it's 12 and 2 or 2 and 12. I'm sorry, totally wrong. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. That is purpose. That is intention. Things done decently in order. That is intention. So with that, I thank you again for your patience with me, and I apologize for coming on late. But I pray that you have an amazing rest of the day. And if I don't see you again, an awesome rest of the week. Peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.